Tell 'em run it up.
What is going on? What is going on, everybody in the house? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland every single morning.
I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck, but first I stretch. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down now. Check, no drip, this wet. Tell 'em run it up.
What is going on? What is going on? Wake up in Cleveland Tech Thursday. Tech Thursday. It is what is it? December 15th. We are halfway through the entire month. About to move into 2023. That is have we moved fast? I mean, honestly, it just felt like it was 2021. But we're here now, and we're trying to get through inflation and life, and some of us have children, some of us don't, but I do. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird flowing through time as quickly as we are. Let me get my comment section because I didn't see anything. For the people that missed me on Twitch on Tuesday, sorry, boys and girls. I actually, I caught a little bit of a cold. Hey. Pull the chat up. There we go. Caught a little bit of a cold, and well, I've been, I get colds like, I don't know, twice. Not twice. I get colds very consistently on one specific thing. And that is when I'm running myself ragged. You can hear I'm still kind of congested. But when I'm running myself ragged, and also when I'm in high stress environments, like like I have built on. Hey guys. I wish sometimes people said things in a nicer way. Philip Tan, your background music is still playing. Nice. Dure, turn down the intro music, please. Not nice. I'm a person too, you know, guys. I have feelings. I do. But I get sick on two different ways. And like I said, one's running myself ragged. The other one is high stress. So like, I don't know, buying a house or going on vacation or, doing a convention. All of those types of things, they all lead me into getting to a point in time where after I'm done with all of the said things, that's when I calm down. I'm relaxed finally. Guaranteed. I usually catch a cold, and that's exactly what happened. So it's to be expected. It's not COVID. It's not any of those things. To be honest with you, I'm not even sure I've ever even caught COVID. I think I might be one of those, people that can't get it, because I've been around too many people with COVID and have come out, unscathed. Now, of course, everybody's different. Do what you want to do. I don't care. I've been boosted and all that stuff. So maybe that's another reason why. I don't know. But like I said, I haven't gotten it. Anyway, what is going on, everybody? I see, again, Philip Tan, the nice one, is in the building. Patrick C, Power Friend, SQ Squad, DJ Think, Patrick C said, Priyan Johnny came out with a good video about laptops running stems. I have not seen it. To be honest with you, I haven't really seen many videos lately. I've been so behind in getting out my stuff that it's become quite an issue trying to get out all my content. That is really an issue for me right now. Tyler Wallace in the building. What is going on? You guys don't know who Tyler Wallace is? He is one of the big guys that put on a Harvest of Sound Festival, and it was a great time. He's still waiting for my review. It's not coming. Dure, it's okay. You don't have to apologize, but I'm not from Cleveland, so we're still not seeing eye to eye. It's okay though. It's okay. Okay. Let's see here. Who else we got here? Mike Feliciano, DJ Keith Just, State Farm in the building, and Neff Entertainment from New Orleans. Hanging out. DJ Nick Young. Sorry, didn't mean to miss you. Okay. So, I've been quite busy over the last couple of weeks. If you guys did not see, last night I did release my, my first impressions on the Rain 4. That came out last night around 9:00. It's a good video. You guys should definitely watch it. Like I said, it's just first impressions because none of us, are flying on tour and on events with them. So, the bottom line here is that the release point of the Rain 4 has been a little questionable. Okay. I don't know who was first and I don't know who was last. All I know is that the release window was supposed to happen at the same time, Serato Stems and the Rain 4. So I don't know exactly where the issue is. I'm going to assume it's more manufacturing than it is software because obviously, Serato can focus all of their efforts on the software because they don't have to worry about any outside influences. They don't have to worry about making sure that the machines are actually ready for retail. All of these little things, come into play. So I am assuming that it's definitely something manufacturing wise, which caused the Rain 4 to be, I don't even want to say delayed, but because I don't know when the actual deadline was. I'm going to assume that when they released their sneak peeks, months ago, that at that point in time, they probably assumed that within a month or so, it'd be ready to go. For whatever reason, it wasn't. So they didn't have a lot of product. And unfortunately, I was one of the guys that was off the list. There was literally, I think they sent out like 4 in the entire world. It's not like, everybody got one but me. But fortunately, because I was in Boston at Harvest of Sound, I was able to, head over there. It's always weird when you head over to a place that you've never been to. You're in a car with, look, we spend time with people. I've developed relationships with all of the pioneer DJ people and in music people. We have relationships. However, the relationships are, like I said, I'm congested. The relationships are mostly over the phone or over Zoom or, quick meetings at like the conventions. Never do I spend an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours in a car. Never. So it's always a little bit of like, okay, how's this going to go? So he picks me up from my hotel and, it's about an hour drive. Good conversation though. Good conversation. He's a good guy. Jason Stout from In Music. I forget what he does now. I think he's the marketing manager. He's something up there. They did a whole reshuffle. So he was one of the guys, left in. So it was my first time at Rain. I'm like, do I have any pictures? I might. I really need to sync up my photos. With my iMac, that way I just said iMac, with my MacBook, that way, I can share these things with you guys because I'm not. So let's see if I can do this. But what's good about, I'm only going to speak specifically about In Music. Okay. I'm not going to speak about everybody else because look, we all have our things and, everybody does things differently. But what I do like about In Music is that, for the most part, it feels like every single person that works there is like a working DJ. like Chris Roman, who runs everything. I just assumed, he's an older guy. I assumed that he was done. He's like, no, I got gigs here. I got gigs here. Here's a picture of this. And I'm just like, okay, Jason, working DJ. I'm not sure about Jake, in all honesty, but I do know that all of these people are literally, involved not only with creating, great products, but also making sure that they're, in the know. So I thought that was very, very cool. So by the way, it is Tech Thursday. Is there a way to factory reset the Rev 1? I don't know that answer. I would assume that if you're going to do any factory resets, it would be in the Rev 1 application. That's my assumption. Tyler Wall says Jake used to be a DJ. There you go. Well, I know it was a DJ, but like I just didn't know about if he was like a working DJ, like nonstop. Like Jason actually works, every other weekend or so. So I don't know. Jason Smith says, do you think the Denon SC Live 4 would be fine for taking DJing, bars, pubs, and occasional weddings and birthdays using a PA, not the onboard speakers? Yeah. I mean, it's a fine controller. I just think it's priced a little bit out of the market. Yeah, it's just priced a little bit out of the market. There's nothing wrong with the actual gear itself. I just think, at that price point, not to say that there are many options, because I know as far as having a dedicated all-in-one, that you are limited in what you can get. So, and I mean, like with Pioneer, there's nothing in the price point for Pioneer. Although I do have a review coming out for the RX3 and against the Prime 4. Could you please repeat the answer? Repeat what answer? I don't even know what question we're talking about. I think Tyler's answering it. You're right there. Okay. Yeah. When I answer questions, I literally just move on. Like I'm done. Oh, I missed out on Mixmaster G. Hey, thanks for hanging out today, pal. Thanks for hanging out. If you definitely need a way to get your music files from system to system, like I need to go from Serato to Rekordbox to Traktor to Engine, like all of those things, you definitely want to follow Mixmaster G. Definitely follow him. Self-explanatory. What an ironic name. DJ Self-explanatory. When you install your Rev 1, an app should have been installed, which is like the Rev 1. Let's see if I can pull it up here. It's usually like a Rev 1 setting utility, something like that. It should be in there, and then you should be able to go in there and handle it. What is S&P 500? I don't care about that. Anyway, let's see here. Serato ain't cheap. If you can't afford it, oh well. KGL in the building. I don't know what that means. Serato doesn't really cost anything. If you buy the gear, it typically comes with the software attached to it, so it doesn't really cost you anything. Anyway, yeah, I don't have the Rev on here. Why aren't you transferring? Wait a minute. Well, this is weird. I think my camera's frozen. Hold on. Let's try to reset this camera, because it was stuck on something that it should not have been stuck on. So let's see what's going on my demo. Where is my other one? Interesting. So it appears that my OBS is stuck in my last video, in my last stream, because I have things that should not be there. So I might go to a video. In fact, I will go to a video. We'll be right back. Okay, we're good now. We're good. So at least some of us are good. I don't know what the hell's going on with this. So let's just get rid of this too. Sorry, boys. Very weird. Okay, well that one's not going to work. So let's get back to the questions. But I did want to show at least the one thing. I don't have the Rev 7 on here, but if I click on this, there's usually a utility right here. See Rev 7. I just typed in RE, and when it pops up, let's see if there's anything to reset it. It's going to be a little different because this is a Rev 7. There's always the uninstall, and also you need to check your firmware to see what your firmware is sitting at. Sometimes it's a problem with that. Now, I guess the question is, the biggest question is, why do you want to reset the Rev 1? Because there's not a lot in the Rev 1. So I'm just curious to know why you'd want to reset it to defaults. Everything that's in there is pretty much set up through your Serato Lite. So if you're having any problems, chances are it is something in the MIDI mappings, which is usual. Anyway, okay, let's answer some questions. This is a Tech Thursday, so I know if you guys have any questions, make sure you put the hashtag ask in the chat, and we'll try to help you. And I always say try because I don't know everything. Plus, I'm fighting a little bit of a cold, so things may not go exactly according to plan. I'm seeing a little too much purple in me. I think I have to change my white balance. Okay. Ruben in the building. What is going on? Good to see you. Yeah, sometimes when you should reset your computer. I should have turned off my computer when I left because I haven't been on it for 2 weeks. I'm just wasting energy. But it is what it is. Okay. Questions are, let's see here. Real DJ thinks Serato costs $2,000 when you buy the Rain 72 as a standalone for free. Yeah, that's true. Retro DJ asks, do you use Phase? Your thoughts? I use Phase all the time when I'm DJing at home. I rarely bring my Phase out just because a lot of these venues just aren't doing turntables anymore. However, love Phase. Let me preface. I love Phase in wireless HID mode. That's it. If I gotta run RCAs into a mixer, I know it's silly, I know it's easy. I'm over it. I go, which is why I don't use, DJ. I don't use virtual DJ for turntables because I love HID mode. So Serato's got me just because of HID mode. Let's see here. Let's go back up here. But as far as Phase is concerned, as far as you having turntables already and maybe wanting to get that kind of Rain 12 feel, it doesn't get any closer or better than Phase. Now, do I think that a DJ nowadays that isn't into vinyl should buy a turntable and Phase instead of going with like the Rain 12s? I don't know. I'm back and forth on that. In all honesty, I'm back and forth. I think, depending on what you do or what your future is. But for a lot of people, the Rain 12s are a good situation to have. Obviously, the best situation would be a 12-inch record player that plays records but also has, an HID built in. That would be the best case scenario. We just don't have that. So right now, the Rain 12 is the best choice. DJ Heavy in the building. What is going on? Mixmaster GNL's making dinner. I'm having breakfast. Okay. Tyler said, let's not talk about how InMusic was supposed to be there with Rain 4. So, yeah, I don't know what was... Okay, so obviously we'll talk about, Harvest of Sound. But specifically, the Rain 4 was released on Monday at noon. I met with the InMusic guys on Friday to go over like a Zoom call of the board. Now, they gave me all the pamphlets and all the pictures and all the things I needed to make a video, but I don't know. There's something about, maybe it's me. I'm the one with the problem. But there's something about other people with the physical product and then me talking about the product without my hands ever being on it that I just couldn't get my head around this time. Couldn't get my head around it. I don't know why. But when Jason found out that I was going to be in Boston for Harvest of Sound, he was like, oh, well, why don't I come grab you and you can come see it hands on? I'm like, that's perfect. If my video comes out delayed, it's okay. And for anybody that doesn't know, it's actually the best time to release videos because the product is not out yet. So just a good YouTube trick for you guys. So if a product isn't out yet and you happen to have the product or have information about the product, you can actually release multiple videos before the product comes out because it's still searchable. People are still searching for Rain 4 materials. They're going to be searching for Rain 4 materials until they leave retail and they're in people's hands because that's the way people work. When I had the Rev 7 and I had it early, I think I released like 3 videos on it. They all did well because people still didn't have access to it. So that was my first one. We'll do another one when I get the actual thing and I can take it out. It'll be like 2 weeks or a month on a gig, blah blah blah. And then the last one would be like 6 months to a year later, and that's long-term review. Are things breaking on it? Do I see any problems? How do I feel about it now? For people complaining or questioning the fact that it isn't moving platters. It was never supposed to go up against like the Rev 7 or the Rain 1. It was always going to be a direct competitor of the DDJ 1000. So, I get why people would be annoyed about it, and I get why people are frustrated because Rain is Rain is DJ stuff. So I understand. But the facts are, it was never supposed to be that. Now, having said that, sorry. If they just come out with the Rain 4 M with moving platters, it's going to make a lot of people happy. I think that those are just facts. I think the biggest problem that I'm seeing from the industry, it feels like normally you can kind of predict what a company is going to do. You can kind of see it. Oh, they've done this. Now they're going to do this. Now they're going to do that. Normally that's there. For some reason, I can't foresee anything that InMusic is doing right now. I have no idea. Like I get product that shows up at my door, or Jake will email me, "Hey, we got this product coming out in like a week. You want it?" I'm like, "Sure. What is it?" And I get. I'm like, I don't even know where you guys are headed right now. But at least you can say, maybe they're trying new things. I respect that. They don't have to be kind of, I don't know, typecasted. They can do what they want to do. Like I'm fine with that. Okay. Let's see here. The pitch down effect is actually very good. It's very similar to the duck down on the Rev 7. It's a really good pitch down. There's actually like 3 or 4. I had them in the video and then I edited them out because two reasons. One, because I was using a computer that was there and it was all commercial music. Can't do commercial music when I'm reviewing products. It's gonna not monetize and I'm gonna be pissed off. So I didn't have my own computer there. So the music that came out, I was like, I can't use it. Plus, it didn't record properly, so I was just getting the microphone sound. It didn't sound that great. I'm like, I'm just gonna hold off on it. Okay. All right, let's see here. Questions. GQ in the building. What is going on? Let's see here. DJ Real Thing says to use Dead End SCs and hybrid for Serato plus Houdini. See, I know nothing about Houdini. I'm just gonna let that go. Okay. Neff Entertainment. Any thoughts on the Roland 505? I'm looking for another controller. What would you recommend? I've never used the 505. From the reviews, from everything I've seen, it looks like a great controller. It's a little old now, obviously. I don't know if Roland is even in the DJ business anymore, to be honest with you. I've heard conflicting stories, but I think they might be on their way out of the DJ business. And so I personally don't ever recommend anything that is no longer being produced. People want to buy used or whatever, cool, but like you're not going to hear it from me. It's not going to happen. But it was good. Cleve, I will try to locate you on IG and DM you. I'm not hard to find. Just type in Cleveland Terry with an underscore if you want to be specific, but I'm right there. So definitely. Okay. Philip Tan, there must be some working DJs who don't actually want moving platters in a flagship controller, either because of weight or because they never use turntables. Exactly. Look, that is obvious considering that there's tons of people that still use, CDJs. They use, the 1000. People still use SXs, and SZs. People swear by SZs. I can't stand the SZ. Just a big ass SX, but neither here nor there. So Show them your banner. I haven't released my banner yet. um, let's go here. Nick Young says, I upgraded to Serato version for stems and my platters on the 1000 SRT skips on glitching. Is there anything I can do to fix it? Is it a firmware update? It might be a firmware update. It might be Serato stems. It might be the fact that your computer is being overprocessed, overtaxed. Serato stems takes a good number of resources, and you got to take a look at your buffer. That's one of the big things. If you are having problems with stems or with your controller, you might have to increase the buffer to get it to where you need to go. But Serato stems, virtual DJ stems 2.0, they're not for everybody. I know everybody wants them, but some people don't have the capabilities to have it. Now, you can always, pre-scan all your files and have double the files in your computer. That's an option. Not an option for me, but everybody's different. So do your thing. If I can't do them, if I can't do them in real time, I don't want to do them. Okay. TX says, got a question. On DJ speaker setups, do you control your subs separate from your tops? I like to have control over bass. Well, I mean, technically I control them. I do go direct. And even if I went through a mixer, both your top and your bottoms have their own volume knobs. So you can always just adjust via the knobs. That's how I do it, but my ear for what my system sounds like, I already know what I want. So it's usually I keep it the way it is. And then if I have to make subtle changes, I will. But, I'm using SRXs. So for the knobs, they're infinity knobs, which means that it doesn't really matter if when they're off, even if they get moved around, the numbers don't change. So I literally just turn it on and go. DJ JTX says stems is a game changer. Stems has been a game changer. I'm not going to be the person that makes it seem like ever since Serato came out with their stems that they've set the bar. Stems has always been out there. Stems was on Virtual DJ and DJ right about the same time. I was using DJ for a while because I don't know, I like the layout of DJ. It's just really, really good. So I was almost moving over to DJ, and I still do for my iPad, but I was almost moving over completely until Serato came out with their own stems, and that just screwed everything up. I just saw something I wanted to answer. Where did it go? Retro DJ says, I'm using VDJ to create mashups. Are people having issues with stems preparation? Like I said, I don't use preparation. I know sometimes it just takes a while because it's almost like a real time thing. Tyler Wallace says, TX, I put the subs on booth and the tops on mains. That way I don't need to leave the decks. Yeah, you can do it on booth, but then what if you actually use your booth monitor? What's your solution for that? That's my only problem, because I've done booth. Like if I work, there's a gym that I'm at, and I always bring a sub to that because they have their own highs. So I run my booth, and if I try to maximize or balance out the highs with the booth just using their mixer, it sounds like crap. So I understand what Tyler's doing, but I actually am one of those guys that actually uses their booth for a booth. Cold World says, which tops, QSC K12.2s or Mackie SRM V class? I think they're two different speakers, in all honesty. I think the QSCs are probably the better speaker, just in general. Nothing wrong with the SRMs. The SRMs Vs, for me, sound really close to PRXs. Maybe a little less than PRXs, but I don't believe the QSCs and the Mackies are close. Oh, Tyler. Okay, that's one way to do it. Yeah, I like to be able to turn off my monitor. Okay, now, let's see if there's any more questions here. DJ ComCom. I miss mid-range controllers like the VCI, the DJI SR, DJ 8000. Everything now split into low-end or high-end controllers. I mean, the DJI SR was a low-end controller. And it still exists. It just exists with a different name on it. The DDJ 800, that one I would agree with. I thought the DDJ 800 was one of the perfect controllers, and it always pissed me off that it only worked with Rekordbox. Always pissed me off. Had they come out with that for Serato, I might have bought that, in all honesty. But I'm done buying controllers that only work for one thing, in all honesty. And again, I'm in a position where it doesn't really matter. I have tons of controllers just lying around my house right now, but I don't want to even think about it. I think every controller should be able to do, and obviously, look, everybody's different, but I think a controller should be able to run Serato, and like Pioneer and Rekordbox, Den and DJ, Engine OS, and Serato. I just think that's just a given nowadays, and I've already said it. Every single person, every single company that makes a product that is isolated to just their core software, I think are doing a disservice to themselves. Seriously, a disservice. Northwest Audio, I haven't simulcast on Twitch. Well, I was gone. So for 2 weeks, I was sick on Tuesday, so I didn't do a Twitch. But then I didn't do one last week because I was on a thing. Anyway, I think they're doing a disservice to themselves because from a marketing standpoint, from a pure marketing standpoint, if I want to sell somebody Engine OS, I'm not going to just give them a product with Engine OS in it. That product has to have Serato in there too. Why? Because I'm more likely to mess with Engine OS if I know I can default to whatever software I'm comfortable with. Virtual DJ, there are virtual DJ people that use virtual DJ. We know how great it is on Engine OS, but the facts are, there's a huge contingent of people that use virtual DJ and there's a huge contingent that use Serato. And typically speaking, you're not going to see them go back and forth. Okay? Just the way it is. So I'm more inclined to even test Engine, to test Rekordbox, knowing I can go back. So I think the people are getting smart about it. I think consumers are getting smart about it, and they are tired. They were tired of getting burned by, it's a Rekordbox only. Oh, now the next box is Serato. Same exact board, but just they changed the name on it. It's stupid. So I'm glad that now Pioneer DJ, specifically Pioneer DJ, is one of those companies that is making it support both. I think it's important. And the button layouts can be different, as Tyler was saying. I think now they're trying to just go a little more uniform. That way, they can make it work. So the SRT was definitely something that I don't think they wanted to do. Pioneer DJ. I think they had always intended for it to be Rekordbox only, a way to get people to use their Rekordbox software. And I think Serato just kind of made them an offer they couldn't refuse. That's my guess. That is my guess. And look, the facts are they stand to sell a crap ton more SRTs than they would with Rekordbox. So anyway. Sorry guys, got to cough for a minute here. So I knew there wasn't anything wrong with the S9 per se. So I guess I didn't think about it. I don't know. Maybe it was just me thinking about the set or me consuming all those shots. Or me consuming all those shots. Hold on one moment. Hey, future me, what are you doing? I'm editing your videos. What else would I be doing? No. I get that. Why are you using virtual DJ samples? Well, you said that you would never use the virtual DJ samples. So I put them in to show VDJ users that we care. See? I'm helping you out. You know you're probably going to piss them off again. No. We're cool. I'm on the forums. I got a username. I got a password and everything. I'm a part of the community. And when you're a part of the community, you can make jokes. You know, because we're all just having fun. That's what we do. That's what we do. And it's kind of like being black. Because you know when you're black, you can say, hey, come on, man. Trying to get me demonetized? Why are you being so stupid? Well, considering you from the past, if I'm stupid, I got it from you. Whatever. Yeah, whatever, back at you. Why don't you go say something smart on the camera, smart brother? Sorry about that. All right. I actually missed that office. That was the first office we ever got. And then we shut it down after COVID. Maybe at some point we'll come back to that office. Maybe. Not to that office specifically, but another office. But I would go completely different than how I did it when we first got the office. When we first got the office, it was all about having enough storage for all the equipment and a lobby and an office for myself and my partner and a studio for teaching, people how to dance and all that stuff. And we got all this stuff and we barely used it for that. We used it for the equipment. We used it for the office. That's where I went to work every day. But the lobby, we never really used it. I think after all those years of having it, I think we probably had maybe 15 families that came in. So now I would do one of two things. I would go one of two different ways. First off, I would just have a regular warehouse. Regular warehouse, no offices, just power and things like that. And I would just have it just for all of my equipment. Because that's really the only reason why anybody needs anything bigger than a storage unit, because of equipment, to be able to charge your battery powered things. It's really frustrating to have to grab my cases of uplights, drive them back to my house, charge them, drive them back to the warehouse so then the guys can pick them up. That's annoying. That is really, really annoying. So that's the only reason why. And then the other one would be just to put in for an event space, because I think in LA there's definitely a place for an actual event space to do events. So that's the future. Hopefully it happens. And trust me when I tell you, if that happens, there will be a full-on super blog on the building of a entertainment space. Anyway, let's see here. Interfaces. Okay. Which interfaces currently work best with DJ Pro out of the box? There hasn't been anything, unless it's brand new. For the most part, everything works out of the box for it. The Pioneer products, Rain 1 actually works really good with DJ. But yeah, I haven't run into anything where it hasn't. The problem with DJ only occurs when you want to use things with displays. Like the mixer has a display, or the controller has a display, or there's displays in the jog wheels. That's when you'll run into issues with DJ. It'll still work, but the displays will be dead. They'll just be black, So for some people, or it'll say no driver installed. So for some of those people, yeah, it can be kind of annoying. But it works. I haven't plugged in anything that hasn't worked yet, unless it's brand new. Why is record box controls only compatible? Well, that's changed. Yeah, so that should change. Retro DJ says, when is the giveaway? Well, it was supposed to be today. That's what my video says that I never posted because I've been traveling. So because it's not today, I will release that video either tonight or tomorrow morning. Probably tomorrow morning. And I will push it back till, say, the 15th of January. So it's coming. It's just going to take a minute. It's just going to take a minute. So I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. They're really just waiting to go out. But I can help you guys out right now. If you want to be involved in the giveaway, you have to be following me on all my major platforms. So that means subscribed to YouTube, following me on IG, especially on IG. Let's see what my numbers are at IG. I'm really trying to hit 10K, and I'm like 200 from 10K now. So you need to be following me on IG, following me on TikTok, even following me on my Discord. What's the giveaway? No, Tyler. Actually, I'm giving away a full Mackie Thump speaker system. So I'm going to give them the Thump 212s, the Thump 215s, and a Newmark Engine OS controller for free. All they have to do is be following that. We'll do a raffle, and the only thing you guys have to do is pay for shipping, because I'm not paying for shipping. I've already said this. I'm not made of money. So if you got to spend, I don't know, $50 to $100 to get what, $1,500 to $2,000 worth of product, I think it's a good trade. I think it's a good trade. You know what? So we have I'm gonna make some more hats. If I could throw it in the box, I would. Maybe I have a dad hat I can throw in the box. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah. So I'm gonna be giving away a lot more product over the coming months. I'm trying to work it out with the people, the manufacturers and stuff, that like, hey, you know what? Yeah, you really don't want it. You really don't want it. You don't want me to send it back. So let me just give it away. Anytime somebody asks me to review a product now, for the most part, I always have them send me two. That way I can send one out. The last review I'm doing is, what am I doing here? The last review, is on the X Vive. Hold on, let me get the box. Okay. The last review I am doing, that shipping is going to be $300. It might be. You don't have to choose to take them. If you say no, then the next person we do who wins, we'll get it. I'm not going to feel sorry for somebody having to. You know what it's like? It's like, hey, you just want a new car. You just have to pay for the taxes, and people are like, oh man, I got to pay for the taxes. Like, you just got a new car. You could literally take that, pay the $1,000 in taxes, and then sell it for $9,000. So anyway, the KS118 is a pretty damn good speaker. You're right about that, Tyler. I was actually shocked at how good it actually sounds, even though it's super heavy. So, like for instance, this X5, this guy right here. Let's see if it comes in there. There we go. I can take that for a picture later on. X5 sent me two of these, and I had one of them malfunction out of the box, pretty much. So I opened up the second one, and then it worked. The one thing about these, I actually like them, except the only problem I have with these, it's not necessarily their fault. Well, actually, it is their fault. Let me see if I can find the little piece. Hold on. Okay. So, um, here's the problem. Obviously, it's not even a problem, but like I said, you got this guy right here. This guy, get into focus here. He may not get into focus. There we go. This guy goes on your belt clip. So you see a little belt clip, up top, you see there's the headphone jack, and then you have your volume and your channels. Okay. Then for whatever reason, they decided that they could just kind of use the same spacing as they do on their U4s, U3s, their U3s. So this is the exact same box that you can use for the U3s for your wireless microphone / speakers. Okay. So this is the first problem. Okay. You guys know where this has to go. Now, if you're a guitarist, bass player, whatever, you plug this into a mixer, stays out of the way. But to use these as in-ear monitors for DJing, well, they have to go into, the port. And where's that port usually? Right in the front. So obviously there is an XLR here. Okay. That's because they're using the same ones. Their solution is to put on this 1/4 inch cord. This thing. So now take this guy, turn it this way, and then plug it into your headphone jack. Tell me you're not running into this thing every chance you get. All right? Because it's what? A little over 5 inches. That's a lot to be sticking out of your controller. So the solution is you get rid of this thing, and then you get yourself one of these monos. And it has to be mono because the audio coming out is in mono. I know some people are like, well, it's in mono. I'm like, it doesn't really matter. Like, it works just fine. I'm typically only using it in one ear anyway. So then, like so, and then you can just slide it, to the back of your controller. All problems gone. It's good. I like it. At first I was like, why do I need to have a, see, Tyler, we're saying the same thing. See, Tyler, look, man, I'm all about the story. If I just say, don't buy this, buy this, that's not much of a story. You're not going to retain that. It's all about the story. It's all about the spacing and the timing. Hey, I finally got to a point where people are like, you know what? It's okay that you talk. For the longest time, they were like, shut up and give me the facts. So now I'm like, okay, I'm good. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna put a butt plug in my mixer. I would plug the master out to a direct box. No, thank you. Into a wireless mic adapter. If you're doing your master out, yeah, I guess that works. That's essentially the booth, but it just feels like an extra step, But hey, to each their own. Use the X5 to transmit music wireless to the Mackie Thumb Go. I use that all the time. I use my X5s. I use them so much, in all honesty. I use them so much that I lost one. That's the only problem with any of these types of things. Like, they're small, they're easy to lose. And I've now been putting them with my mic box. That way I know they're going to be safe, but I lost one. I liked them so much I bought my own. So I'm not going away from these things. The wireless systems, I could live and die without it, without the in-ears, but they are convenient, especially if you find yourself having to move in and out, or you're in a real strange place. You know what I mean? Like, as far as what I do, I'm a working DJ, but I'm always running around having to tell people things or do things. Like, it's really annoying to have to like, oh, I forgot I didn't unplug, and you pull and your whole thing. It's stupid. It's stupid. When is your kit competition? I think I just talked about that, Retro. Like, like, where do you go, Retro? Are you working? Is this a work day for you? Are you like, what, boss? And you just like turn it off like you're playing Galaga. uh, okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about my amp keeps going back in one of mine. So I do. Are we talking about the subs or the highs? I do know that there was a batch of QSCs that had amplifier issues. I do know that. But I always thought it was just the 12s, not the 12.2s. But hey, it is what it is. Okay. The X5 definitely has almost zero latency. Like very impressive. And that's on both of them. Like I know that there are companies that have been trying to get these things out, these kind of zero latency wireless monitors. And I know there's things on the horizon. But the fact that they work the way they're supposed to, nothing. Okay. What's your favorite pair at Harvest? What's my favorite pair? Pair of what? Pair of speakers? I think we might be talking about speakers. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about Harvest of Sound. Let's talk about that. Okay. Eric Washington, thank you so much. We have poor internet, so I missed it. Oh, Retro. Oh, man. Well, you know what? I thank you for being loyal. I appreciate that. Once the video comes out, which should be either tonight or tomorrow, I'm still wondering if I'm going to go see Avatar or not tonight. If I see Avatar, it won't come out till tomorrow. If I don't, it'll probably come out tonight. But once that's announced, I now have to go back in the video and then splice out the whole thing. So once I do that, about a month from then, that we'll send them out. We'll do the raffle. Actually, my birthday is on the 18th of January, not the 15th. So where is my birthday? It's on a Wednesday. So we'll probably do it on the 19th. That should work. Yeah, the 19th. It's a good package though. But like I said, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. I get it. But you got Christmas coming around the corner. You got Hanukkah coming around the corner. You got Kwanzaa coming around the corner. If you get some cash, put it to the side. You might be able to, get yourself a full on DJ setup without doing anything. Oh, DJ Reese, that sounds great. Yeah, it's funny because like the only thing I will say about the Mackie Thumps, and I love the Mackie Thumps. I think they're fantastic for pretty much everything except for like using the Mackie Thumps as like sound and like loud MCing. They don't do well when the MC is coming in too hot. And I don't mean like he's distorting. I just mean like there are certain people out there that just are just louder on microphones, and it does struggle with that. As far as a monitor, as a cocktail speaker, as just general speakers, it's great, But it'd be interesting to hear what other companies like the S1. I might even plug in my. I have some JBL 610s. I might plug in the 610 one more time and see the difference of that one and see if there is a difference. Okay. Harvest of Sound. All right. So as you guys know, I was invited to Harvest of Sound, months ago, and it's in Boston. It was December 5th through the 8th. And I said, yeah, because it was the first time. I'm like, what am I doing? You're going to be the keynote speaker. Okay, cool. I've never been a keynote speaker. I don't even know what a keynote speaker really does, but I'll do my best. I'm not one to to say no, especially when it involves talking. So show the banner. I don't even have. I'd have to grab the banner. Let me grab the banner. Hold on. What's a good one?
This is a journey into sound. This is a journey. This is a journey into sound. Sound.
Okay, so I do have the banner here. I did bring the banner home with me. Just want to make sure people understand that. In case you guys want to follow me on IG. So we'll get back to the banner in just a second. Okay. So I'm like, yeah, that's fine. As long as you can cover my travel and, my hotel, like I'm good. I'll come out. No big deal. Now, keep in mind, Harvest Festival. My kids used to go to a school. It was Madera Elementary, and every year I would DJ their Harvest Festival, which was like their Halloween Thanksgiving thing. And so anytime I think of harvest, that automatically enters my head. So over the last few months, obviously, we've all been communicating because it's not just me there. There's multiple presenters and DJs and vendors. And so I've been in the chats, but like I've been so busy just with work, gigs, YouTube, IG content, everything that I like. I don't have time to do everything. So I kind of like backed off a little bit and I'm like, look, I'll come back when I need to. When we get a little closer, that's when I'll start to chat in. So Mike V in the building, what's going on, fam? So I every like month, Tyler would text me and say, hey, you're working on your keynote? How's it going? I'm like, yeah. Like, I haven't worked on it. Like I had some ideas that I kind of just threw in my notepad, but that was about it. Hadn't touched it. The last time Tyler asked me, hey, have you, are you all set? It was like, it might've been 2 or 3 weeks before the Harvest of Sound. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And then like, at that point I was like, oh my God, I haven't written out anything. I haven't written out anything at all. So, I should probably start working on it. And it was one morning in particular that I was sleeping and I woke up, my eyes was wide open. And then my brain was like, hey, talk about this. And I just kind of started writing it down in my note thing. Still didn't really work on it. I had so many events like throughout the weekend, through the week, holiday parties were kicking in. It was just kind of a hectic kind of couple of weeks. I was in Disney World for Thanksgiving week. I came back. To make a long story short. So I sat down finally and started working. And I'm like, you know what? How do I even want to present? No, I'm not on Twitch. I'm not on Twitch on Thursdays. I haven't been on Twitch on Thursdays for months. So this is how we do it now. This is for YouTube. Tuesdays are for Twitch. I didn't go on YouTube Tuesday because I was sick. Okay. So I started working because Tyler is obviously like, hey, what do you need? Do you need a presenter thing? Do you need this? Do you need that? And I'm just like, damn, I don't even know. So I started working on it and I started kind of outlining it. I first had it in my notes section and then I'm like, let me just open up, I don't know, this program that might work called Keynote. I have never touched Keynote. I used PowerPoint all through when I was working at like a regular office. So when I got my Mac, I never did anything with Keynote. Never, ever. Keynote's a very good application, by the way. Like very, very good. Anyway, so I just started writing it out and I got the majority of it done. But here's the funny thing, because it'll all come back around. When you're going through your Keynote, right? And you can set up the presentation and there is a timer that kicks in. So you click on it, you start reading through your presentation. You try to add in your little subtle pauses or whatever. You do all these things. And I'm like, okay, I get through my entire performance Keynote. Okay. It's like 27 minutes. Like, okay, that's doable. Whatever. But I was nowhere near being done. So somebody was looking out for me because when I got on my plane and I got to my seat, there is a TV screen on the back of your seat or in front of you anyway. And there is Wi-Fi. So you can communicate, you can watch movies and all this stuff. When I got to my seat, the TV was dead and the Wi-Fi was down in my area. So I had absolutely nothing to do but work on my Keynote. So the flight's like 5.5 hours long. And for pretty much 4.5 to 5 hours, I worked specifically on my Keynote and got it to where it's going. So get there. I get in super late. There were 2 flights that day that were realistic. And one of them was like 8 a.m. One of them was I think around 3:00. The 8 a.m. one would have been fine, but I had a gig. I had a morning gig. So I booked it for later in the day. 3 days before my flight, 3 days before the gig, the client messages me and says, "Oh, we're going to postpone it." So now I'm like, well, damn, I could have been there earlier. Fine. Probably a good thing. So, I got there. I don't know. I think my flight got in at like 10 o'clock, but it wasn't 10 o'clock for Boston. It was like 12:30, 12:45. We got to the tarmac. We sat on the tarmac for like first, we didn't even leave the airport in LA for 30 minutes. They're like, we can make up time. It's like, sweet. So, they're like, oh, it looks like we're making up time. We'll be there right about this time. I'm like, cool. Land. Sorry, there's people in our location. We have to wait. Then we waited another like 25 minutes until they were able to dock. Got in. It was like, I don't know. Yeah, like 12:30. Chris was there waiting for me, and he drove me to the hotel. And I was starving because I didn't eat on the plane besides snacks, and ordered something to go. Oh, by the way, if you're ever in a pinch and you're not really sure, where you are or what food's out there, you can pretty much guarantee that there is a Mexican restaurant always available 24 hours a day. So that's what I did. Got some Mexican food, called it a day. Okay. Now, keep in mind that that was Sunday night. So I'm going to bed at like 2 a.m., 2:30. I have to be up because the keynote is at 10. So I'm exhausted, right? I'm super exhausted. Get to the keynote. Now, the way this hotel is set up is the hotel is connected to the ballroom, I guess is what you'd say. And as you walk into the ballroom, it has kind of the entryway, and then it has one large ballroom on the left, entryway, and then it has another ballroom, but it seems like it's more of their performance room because there's no tapestry or anything on the walls. It seems like it's dedicated for actual shows. So I get in, connect. By the way, super professional. The setup. I think Nate Nelson did the setup. I'm going to send some pictures over so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. I think Nick Nelson did the setup. Gorgeous, just gorgeous. It looked super, super professional. So that was the first thing I will say. It was really their first official Harvest of Sound. The first one they did was like, I don't know what depending on who you ask, it gets progressively worse. Like for one person's like, oh, they did it at this place. And the other person's like, oh yeah, they did it in like a back alley with like, hookers and drugs. So it just depends on who you ask. But this one, people paid to be there. It was a very good setup. And okay, here we go. Let me see if I can send this to my computer here. Okay. Send it. Send it. Why are you waiting? Okay. Well, while that's waiting to send, it probably needed to download. Okay. So, so when I got there, here's the funny thing about being the keynote. So when you're the keynote, you're the first person to go on. All right. Now, I don't have a problem with being the first person to go on, but the strange thing about it feels backwards to me, by no fault of anybody's. Okay. But it feels backwards because to me, I don't know, if I'm thinking like I'm the guy that's going to lead something off, I kind of assume that like you want everybody to be there. But when you're the first, there are people still getting there late, delayed, for whatever reason. I mean, you got to go through traffic or you got to fly in the morning. Like there's a lot. So, I thought that was actually, so I went first. Now, the good thing about being a keynote is, you not only do you get to go first, but you also get to, figure out and fix all the problems. Oh, that's why the Wi-Fi's off. All the problems, that you might encounter. Well, Carbon, you're only confused because you're late. Be on time next time. Be on time. We're talking about Boston's Harvest of Sound. So I'm not going to show the videos. So when I set up, I had my laptop, but I also had my iPad, just in case, if I needed to, to move things over or whatnot. So I get to the booth and the guy's like, oh yeah, there's you got your computer, cool, plug it in, great. He's like, so do you need the controller or whatever? I'm like, well, I know I need to see my notes. Like all my notes are in the screen. He's like, oh, okay, well, it needs to stay here. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll bring my iPad up. Hopefully I don't run into any problems, obviously. So I start up the thing. Everything's going okay. My computer's going to sleep, even though I knew I had set it to stay on and it was plugged in. Never goes to sleep. I was on a flight for 5 hours. Didn't go to sleep at all. Whatever. So went to sleep a couple times. We finally got it worked out. Nate Nelson helped me out there. Here's the funny thing. The 25-minute session speech keynote ballooned out of control. Because once you're actually talking to people, there are two different kinds of people. Okay. And this is probably facts. There are people that like get up on stage and then just like do their stuff. Okay. Next page. Next page. Okay. And they just get through it because either they don't want to be up on stage, they're nervous, whatever the reason might be, they're flying through it. Then there are people like me who are like completely comfortable. The first 5 minutes were a little nerve-wracking because I had tested I had a headphone microphone, a body pack. And we had tested everything's fine. I get up on stage and it was like, pew, roo, roo. So I said, just give me the microphone. And then we went through it from there. So there, So I was already kind of like, oh man, like I can't have my computer near me. I can't have, a mic. The body pack is not working the way I wanted it to. So now I'm like a little flustered, but I'm a professional, so I will keep going. And to top it off, Rachel Lynch is recording the entire thing to be live to show to all of her viewers. So I know that's in the back of my head too. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. This is stupid. So, but I got into a good place, like, calmed down, and just did my thing. And literally it was just talking to a crowd. And I know not everybody's able to do that. I completely get it. What I've built and created, trust me when I tell you, wasn't always like this. I was not the one that could like talk. I worked for a municipal revenue enhancement firm, which means we worked for city government and we found revenue for the cities. Neff, thanks for hanging out today. Peace out. And so I will remember this statement all the time. So I started that company when I was like, Jesus, I couldn't even run a car yet. So I was 23. I had a mentor. His name was Dave. Dave was either late 50s. No, I would say early 60s. And he was like, we called him the gray hairs. And the gray hairs would be the guys with all the experience and all the knowledge. Basically, I give the facts and then they're the ones that like, let me just talk about it. Let me tell you a story so you can kind of figure it out. So when I'm working with this guy, he's really good. He's really good at bullshitting. That's the bottom line. He's super good at bullshitting. And I remember to this day, I was doing a kind of a seminar talking about the general use tax, sales tax of this particular city. And everybody had their spots. And he's like, let's go over this before we go into it. So I went through my thing and he was like, okay, it's good, but you're trying to do too much. And I said, well, what do you mean? You're trying to do too much. He goes, you don't have to try to look like, you're the expert. The fact that you're standing there on stage is proof enough for them that you're the expert. All you have to do is be the expert. And at that point, it kind of clicked in it for me. Like, nobody knows who I am. They just assume that I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. So why not just do it? I was also in a couple of bands, a couple of performances. I had a full-on band and everything, got signed, all that stuff. And I always put it in the back of my head. Like, you're not going to embarrass yourself. You're on stage. You're not going to embarrass yourself. So I made it a point never to embarrass myself. And those things, that's what sticks with me. So talking is something that I've programmed myself and worked on, and obviously having shows like this and, everything else I do, because think about it, like the Rain 4 video that I just put out there, that was pretty much start to finish just me talking about the product. I've gotten to a place now where I can communicate effectively, know the words I want to say, and not necessarily have to script out everything because, I have my way and my way works for me. Juan Romero says, would you do TEDx? Of course I would. Why not? Of course. Now, if you were wondering what I was speaking at, I will probably release the video. I'll edit out all the questionable parts, but I will probably release the video because I just got it. I don't know. I gotta think about that. I kind of want to do it again. So like if I get asked to speak again, at this conference or at whatever conference, I kind of want to, have some of these things available to me. So I'm not really sure, now, of course, from my understanding, because I've talked to several DJs out there, especially I think Mike is one of them, who does, keynote speaking. I believe it's Mike. Could be somebody else. Anyway, he was telling me that he speaks all over the place, and it wasn't Mike Villa. No, that he speaks all over the place. And so it's easy because if you go to one and you go to another, they've never seen you before. So you can just do your same keynote over and over again. You know, it's just when people are like, oh, change it up or do this. You're just like, oh my God. So, you know, anyway, it's funny. So let's see here if I can send some pictures over. Hopefully they finally did come over. After the keynote, I was asked to be at another panel, with, Chi-Town Shani and, Nate Nelson and, Hi Kevin. Who else was on there? I can't think of his name right now. Anyway, a good staff. DJ Demand was on there. It was just a good crew. And I just, you know, you're just on there doing your thing. And look, I think the bottom line here is that I think we all probably understand, like, I don't take too many things seriously. You know, nothing is really ever the end of the world if you just do your thing. I make jokes. I'm lighthearted. You know, if I'm on the panel, I'm going to be the guy that typically wants to make all the jokes, and just have fun with it. MC seminar. I could do that. I could definitely do that. So I just want to be relaxed, you know, just want to be relaxed. Okay. Let's see. So after that, they had the, or before that, it could have been before, after. It was kind of a blur that day. Before that, they had the, sound wall, the sound comparison, where they were comparing like all of the high-end speakers, all the high-end line array, column arrays, and so on and so forth, which was actually, a really good demo. The one thing that I didn't realize, hold on, let me send some more stuff over here. The one thing that I didn't realize was, how good some of the speakers sounded. Now there is speaker shootout. Now there is, look, like I said, my brain, I'm still congested. Now, the funny thing about the speaker shootout is, it was designed to be kind of a really, uniform scenario. Like all the sound, all the white noise output was designed to operate at the exact same decibels, the exact same frequencies, so you could hear these speakers how they were intended. You know, if they had DSP, I believe they turned them off. Here's the thing. And the only reason why I can say this is because I know the speakers. There were several speakers, and one in particular I felt really bad for. Like, for instance, I used the Bose, and they had monitored and set everything up to like a 93 decibel white noise. Fine. The problem is specifically for the Bose, and you only know this if you use Bose, is that Bose only sounds good if the volume is at like 11 to 12 o'clock on the dock. If it's anything below that, sounds like crap. Bass sounds like crap. The highs are totally low powered and nothing balances out. I don't know why this is, but this is just the way the Bose work. So when they started going through, they had EV, they had RCF, they had Bose, they had Mackie. I felt really bad for Mackie. I'm talking to the Mackie guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah." I said, "How's this gonna go?" I'm like, first off, I said, "I didn't even know you guys had a column array." And he's like, "Yeah, we have this one right here." I'm like, "Oh, is it any good?" Like, we'll see. So they went through the whole thing, and oh my God. First off, I mean, there was definitely some sort of peaking happening on the Mackie because it sounded like crap. But once he went Bluetooth, it did sound better. So the one thing I will say is that, not the one thing, I'm going to say multiple things, but like the Bose system specifically, yeah, it just doesn't sound good. So once you bring it up, it's great. But if you're just coming in from like an outside perspective, and even if they tell you the whole, hey guys, we've turned off all the DSP, we've turned off all this stuff, so this is how they naturally sound, you're going to walk away going, that Bose doesn't sound that good, like at all. Like if I had heard that Bose in there, when Bose contacted me, I would have told them no. That's how bad they sounded. Now, what I will say is this. So once they started to tweak it a little bit, much better, much better. Because I think the Bose can compete with a lot of the other things out there. What I did notice is the EVs sound good, you know. Weirdly enough, I think that the smaller EV sounds better overall than the larger, more expensive EV. Not decibel, output. I'm just saying the sound of it sounds better with the smaller one. Like I didn't really hear much of a difference between moving from one to the next. It was just one was just a little louder. That was the EVs. The RCFs, pretty much no matter what you threw at them, sounded excellent. I was very impressed with the RCFs. They had the Maui 44Gs there also. And there's a DSP on the Maui 44Gs. So when they were first playing, I'm like, I don't love the way they sound. They don't sound that good. And then at the end of it, they're like, we're going to turn on all the DSPs now so you can kind of hear what they really sound like. And when they did that, that Maui 44G came alive, man. It was super impressive. Super impressive. Like, now, having said that, it's a big ass speaker. I mean, it's essentially a regular system that just happens to connect to one another. So I'm not surprised at the sound, the way it sounded. Not surprised at all. But the RCFs, they sound really good. Really good. Like I'm totally fine with the Bose too, but very, very impressed. Oh, let's see here. There was a group that played in the middle of the lobby called Team Ragoza. They it's a guitarist and a DJ. They had a hype man too, but I think the hype man worked for Bose. I was totally impressed by them. She plays a guitar. She's like a child prodigy, and they're married, and he's like an amazing ass, scratch DJ. In fact, I believe he's going to be in the DMC competition. I believe he's going to be in there. I think I saw an ad for him in there. So, yeah, it's good stuff. Tyler says 44Gs was a star of the show once the DSP was turned on. Yeah, I was super impressed by those. They hit, and it was a good sized room too, so I think the room they were in is what I think most people would call kind of a standard, DJ fun size. That's funny. He really is fun size too. I mean, he's like this big. Like if you thought Justin the DJ was small, like Justin the DJ looks like Shaq compared to DJ fun size. And then the one girl, what is her name? Seppi? What is her name? I just started following her. The Hispanic girl who was with Buzz. I swear to God, I'd said at the end of my keynote, guys, and I had to kind of rush through, so I wasn't able to really elaborate on what I was saying. But one of the things I was saying was, your gear, nobody cares. Thank you, Presha. Nobody cares about your gear. No client cares about your gear. The only people that care about gears typically are DJs. Now, I wasn't saying that you shouldn't have good gear. I'm saying that people that put an emphasis on, oh my God, if you're not using this, you suck. If you're not using this, you're horrible. Like that kind of thing is what I was really talking about. And oh my God, after that, like later in the day, she pulled me to the side and she's just like, no, good sound is really important. I'm like, I know, but you said good sound wasn't important. I'm like, no, I wasn't done. I believe good sound is important, or else I wouldn't use what I was using. I'd use some crap, and she just kept going. Like for 2 days straight, she would not stop. Sweet girl though. Sweet girl. But there are some amazing pictures that Nate Nelson took. Oh, speaking of, hold on, let me send my pictures here. Okay. Now, when I tell you that for a first time convention, the way they looked, you would have thought that they were doing it for, 10 years. Very, very impressive. So impressive that they made me. These were all over the place. These were all over the place. Harvest of Sound, baby. And it's like full body. All the way. I still haven't made my funny video yet. Maybe I'll make it today. I'm going to keep this because this is great. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I might put it behind my door. So it's only visible when, like my wife's already hates, all the stuff. So it's like, oh, really? You need this too? You need this in your life? I'm like, hey, I need somebody that cares about me. Who more to care about you than your own self? Okay. So then, on Tuesday, what was going on that night? So Monday night, I know we went somewhere. Oh, was that the drag queen place? I think that was. So I think it was Monday night. They had a party at a bar, and the bar was a drag queen club, which I don't care about. And I live in LA. That's normal. Silent disco. Thank you. Yeah. So we're talking about the same thing. Yeah. So it was they had the music on for a moment and then they moved over to silent disco. There were multiple DJs throughout the night and everybody was just kind of sharing, going back to back. The good thing, alcohol was cheap. Because alcohol at the hotel was literally like a sexual assault. Like it was that bad. But it was a good time. The one thing I will say, because maybe we should get back to that. So on Tuesday morning, crack of dawn, and keep in mind I'm still like 3 hours out of whack here. Crack of dawn, I was picked up by Jason Stout from In Music. We drive for a little over an hour to the to Rain In Music headquarters. It's very weird seeing the headquarters where it is because you literally drive into kind of nowhere, and then it's woodlands and everything, and you drive up a big hill, and then you can see actually see In Music. Do I have a picture of In Music? This is what happens when you when you don't prep. You do things like this. Where is it at? Just so I can show you right here. Yeah, this is it. I will tell you this. What I did like about Boston, Rhode Island, all those things was that it actually feels like seasons. See, we don't have seasons in California. We have sun, and then we have sporadic rain. That's it. All the time. Like we get some snow, obviously. I mean, I can go up to Big Bear or, up to, whatever. I can go, there are places to go, but in general, the weather doesn't really change. It gets a little cold. Like I think we were down to like 32 degrees yesterday, which is, pretty cold. But besides that, like we don't really get like woodlands where it's like browns and, beautiful falling leaves. Like we don't really get that, unfortunately. So it was nice. It was a very nice drive because I was able to see, another world. Let's see here. Is this one? Where are the pictures I just shared? Because these aren't it. There they are. Okay. All right. So here was the stage. And you can see, like, very well done. I look good. Stage looks good. What I will say is, well, it did help because I set up a cover page on my Keynote. So like, that's all me right there on the screens. So you're welcome. You're welcome, Tyler. But yeah, excellent setup. Sound was good. They had lights on everything, lights on the stage. The sound guy was right here. Here's the funny thing. So there's DJ Demand DJing everybody that's coming out. Here's the funny thing. So the one thing I forgot to say. So when I got there and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, your computer needs to stay here." So I grabbed my iPad, went to the stage. I slid the table. There was a little table off to the side. Sorry. As you can see right here, little table off to the side right here. So I took this table and I slid it towards the middle right here. And then I just had my iPod on there. Now, here's the thing. I was told that that I couldn't have my computer up there. Like, okay. So I worked through this thing knowing that that was kind of an issue. What happened after my session? What do you guys think happened after my session? I'll wait. All right, let me show you some wonderful pictures. But like Nate Nelson, took this guy right here. This guy, like, he took some great pictures. Like, they're super clean that I haven't posted yet. And of course, I got to talk about the kicks. Serato froze. I'm not even on Serato. Okay, so hopefully we're still on. I think we're still on. Okay. They're very, very good photos. And then let me see if I can show you. Okay. So this right here is on the way to In Music. And like I said, actual seasons. Nice. Like, I can imagine just snow on the trees. Like, we don't have snow on trees. Like, that doesn't happen. And yeah, so here we come coming up on it right now. I don't know why you always expect things to be like bigger than they are. But this is the building right here up this hill. It's isolated on its own. And yeah, nowhere near what I expected. In all honesty, nowhere near. But it's a good building. It's nicely laid out. It's clean as you come in. Lots of cubicles. They don't have a huge staff, but that's like the main hub. So after that presentation, yeah, everybody came up with their computers. They had a HDMI cord, which is probably, I don't know, 25 feet. And everybody else, not only did they have their computers on the table, but they also had, they had put some linens on the little circle table. So everybody else Looked amazing. But I will say this though. Had I had linens on the table, you wouldn't have been able to see my kicks. And you know, I mean, the kicks are where it's at. That's key. I mean, come on now. Come on now. Who's rocking Nikes like that? Come on. Yeah, it is a tiny building. It is a tiny building. But you know, I mean, in all honesty, Pioneer DJ is smaller than that, to be honest with you. Because you don't really need, I mean, there are multiple offices, so that's just one of them. That is kind of their main headquarters. But like in general, you know, when everything's made overseas anyway, your job is to spec it out. Your job is to get it all going and send it to be made. So you don't actually need to have a whole bunch of area. You know, even Pioneer DJ's shipping point. So their office is in Torrance. And their shipping location is like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes from Torrance. And it's not just Pioneer. They have Pioneer people there, but it's a global shipping warehouse company. So Pioneer just happens to be one of their clients. So everything is small. Yep. Nike Dunks. We learned as we went. Yeah. And look, that is to be expected. I know that, you know, doing something like this is hard. So I get it. And I was happy to be there and help out. Okay. The next day, so that's when I went to, obviously, In Music. I have no pictures of In Music. Sorry, guys. Like the moment I walked in the doors, all video went out. And I even had to re-sign an NDA. That's how bad it was. Which was funny to me because even when I re-signed the NDA, there are still things they wouldn't show me because of the relationships they had with these other places. Neither here nor there. Did get a chance to finally play around with the Stanton. What is it? Stanton, their version of Scratch. I did see that. So that was cool. Finally got a chance to play with that. And hopefully when it's finally ready to go, they will send me one. That seems to be kind of In Music's MO right now, which is like, announce things, sneak peeks, and then don't come out with it for months. Because I would have thought, I mean, it's done. It's really done. Very weird that they don't have it yet. After that, we came home and, I think we got in like 3:00 or 4, and then I went into the seminars, watched some more seminars. A couple of really good seminars. I can't remember. Big. Is it Big Earn? Big Earn. I liked his seminar a lot. The two guys that were talking about building a client base of like schools and, you know, back to schools and bars and all that stuff. I thought they did a really good job too. And then after that was over, we were all DJing at like, I don't know. I can't remember what time it was. I think it was around 8:00, somewhere around there. Which was the full on party. That was when you had like $16 vodka tonics. $16 vodka tonics. $16. And here's the funny thing about ever like being places where you have people that maybe, you know, are interested in you. You got some fans or whatever. People were like, hey man, I want to buy you a drink. Like I literally was like, don't buy me a drink. Like, no, I really want to buy you a drink. I'm like, dude, I'm a vodka guy. You know, that's like $16. Please don't. Like, no. We want to do that. So I'm like, fine. I had like 3 drinks bought for me. And then Big Earn got smart when people were like, I'm not paying all this. Went across the street to, I think it was CVS and bought like 5 cases of Trulies or whatever, you know, alcohol in a can. And then he was just passing them out the rest of the night. So I went on, I want to say like maybe 7 or 8 deep. I was on at like 9:30. And this is the one thing I will say. Everybody did a good job. First off, I'm gonna put that out there. Everybody did a good job. The one thing I don't understand, I don't understand this part, and I brought it up because I started noticing it when we were at the Monday night party, the silent disco. Was that I don't know why, but all the DJs kept playing like regular party music. Like, the stuff you play at your weddings, the stuff you play at your bar mitzvahs, stuff you play at your corporates. And I could not understand why, when they have the opportunity to play whatever they want, they are playing in front of nothing but DJs. Because at least with like MEX, the mobile expo in Vegas, at least with MEX, 70%, maybe 60% of the guests of the booth people are all photo booth people. So they come to party. You know what I mean? They come to party. All you got is DJs at Harvest of Sound for the most part. So it was weird to me that they kept choosing to play stuff that like we hear every single weekend. Like I had a little trouble understanding. And Tyler, I'm not saying play, a whole bunch of death rock. I'm just saying play some stuff that maybe people haven't heard. Because that's how you get people singing along when they're like, oh, I haven't heard this in a while. They're singing, it ain't no fun, or whatever. And I just felt like, I mean, I don't need to hear I Got a Feeling when I'm not working. I don't even play I Got a Feeling on my parties. So, it's just little things like that. So on Tuesday night, when everybody got to showcase, I decided to go a different route. And I decided to go like more kind of up tempo Jersey style. And that's where I went. And, Jersey remixes and, just kind of party stuff and maybe some newer hip hop. And, I think that it was so different that people are forced to go, huh, what's this person playing? Because when you're playing what people already play, not only are they kind of questioning how you DJ, because they're hearing on their head, I know this song, I play this song. Ooh, why'd you choose to go with that song over this song? Because I play this song, so I know what works best. You get that opportunity. And people that are sitting there talking at the back or at the bar or whatever, when you're playing stuff that like they already know, there's no real reason to get people to come up to the stage. Like, I don't go up to a stage unless something's dope. They're like, oh, what's going on here? Okay, yeah, let's go check it out. So I went different, and I thought it went off really, really well, because I could have gone everywhere. I was talking to Lou, and Lou's like, which way are you going? Because since I'm he said you and me are probably the hip hop guys, so where are you gonna go? And I'm like, to be honest with you, I haven't thought about it. And I hadn't thought about it up until 2 hours before my session. And we were talking, I was talking to DJ Demand and everything, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to go Jersey. I think I'm going to go Jersey instead. Let's just change it up a little bit. So, that way I could leave some space for Lou, because I didn't want to do exactly what Lou was doing. Because Lou went like 90s hip hop, and it was a dope set, but like I didn't want to go there, and I didn't want to play newer hip hop that everybody hates. That's silly. So I went in Jersey, and I set my setup right before. I started out with and I do this for all of my sets for the most part. I always start out with things that I've mixed before. So the first 2 songs, that's like 4 or 5 minutes. It gives you a chance to kind of like get into the feel, get over whatever nerves you may have. And so I played those 2, and then I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable. Because think about this. when you get into gear and it's not your gear, maybe you got turntables, you got a Rain 1, you got a Rev 7, and you get into people's gear and, things are different, maybe, there's an overlay on it and things are missing or whatever. For whatever reason, it's like playing a guitar, even though you know how to play guitar, you play somebody else's guitar, like you're a little off. And it could be as simple as like the stickers on the Rev 7 being dots instead of actual, lines like I have for mine. There was a Rain 1, turntables, and a Rev 7. People are going to ask me why I chose to go with the Rev 7 over turntables. And it's a simple answer. I don't always trust people's setups. Sometimes you get in and you start to mess with it. There were 2 reasons why I didn't go with it. 2 reasons only. One, I don't know what they're using. It's probably MK3s or whatever. And I knew I was going to be doing high speeds and I didn't want to have to deal with the fact that like, oh, it only does +8. I needed to do +16. Also, they were using phase and who knows how long they were on. Just my luck, I'd be using phase and then the battery would die. So like, nope, I'm good with that. And then the last one, the last issue was they were using an S9. And I had planned on using stems. I had planned on, using my pad modes, and all of these things. So the S9, even though I could have done it, would have limited what I could do. If there was an S11 or an S7, I probably would have used the turntables, in all honesty. But the Rev 7 was good. So I used the Rev 7. And it was great. And I'm glad that I did because right after I finished my set, another DJ came on and then the system went out for like 10 minutes. So who knows? They were 5s? Okay. MK5s. Well, that would have been fine because I love MK5s. Is it too late to ask about the Rain 4? Yes, Yoshi. It's very late. Anyway, so let's pull this back up. Let's see here. Wednesday, it actually ended, I think at around noon or 2:00 on Wednesday. I was exhausted from the entire day because I'd gotten up crack of dawn, DJ'd. I was up until basically closing time of the party. So I was exhausted. I've only used the Reloop turntables at NAMM. Never had, you guys can all talk to Reloop and explain to me why they never send me product. That's it. So by the time it was morning, like my body was like, you're not getting up. You're done for the day. Then I went to, I had what's your bank info? Why is my son asking me what my bank info is? Anyway, I had an invite to speak at MIT from Philip Tan. Philip Tan is actually in the building, and he's a teacher at MIT, and he also DJs a lot of their events there. So he had asked me, he's like, hey, I have people that are DJs. Do you want to come and talk? I'm like, of course I do. So that was Wednesday night. And so I stayed until Thursday morning just to be able to talk. And then we got to Boston, and not to Boston. We took a subway. And keep in mind, I've never been on the subway ever. So we took a subway. I mean, I've been on, Metro in LA, but it's not like going underground and doing the thing where you put your little key card in and, like I almost wanted to hop over like on the movies. And then, be in there and hold on to the thing. Unfortunately, nobody danced. I was really hoping for some dancing. Nobody danced on the subway. Nobody did backflips and, everybody was fully clothed. Nobody was doing strange things on the train. I was very saddened by that. All right, let's see here. Where are my pictures of I'm going the wrong way. That's why. Okay, there we go. Sorry, moving things over. Moving things over. Okay. So those will move over, and I'll show you literally setting up for a gig. That's hilarious. I will show you those in a minute. You know, one of the things that I look. Here's the thing about DJing. I've been DJing for a while. Okay. I know that I can DJ. But for whatever reason, I get random people that will say, you know, oh, Cleveland, yeah, he's not really a good DJ. That have never even seen me play live. You know, even Hi Kevin had said, oh, I think his son is good, but he will tell you that he's a mediocre DJ. Which is why I finally was able to like bring it up to him, because he was like, he had gone on 2 before me, but he was on the microphone. So when I finished my set, I literally was like, am I still a mediocre DJ? And then he was like, no. And we laughed it off, because like, I get it. Some people, they don't see how you are. They see little bits and pieces, and then they think they know you. And it could be a number of different reasons why your sets are just okay. You know, anytime I would play with like, I go back to back with my son. We do father son DJing during COVID. It was never about me. You understand what I'm saying? It was never about me. Like, my job wasn't to kind of make my son look bad, to show him up. My job was to have a good time with my son and make him look good. You know, feed him some easy pitches so then he could knock him out of the park. That's the whole point. So when people see, you know, that they're like, oh, he's not that really good of a DJ. I'm like, no, I'm focusing on my son. I'm making sure his sound is good. I'm making sure the visuals are good. There's a lot of reasons. Now, you get me on a party, and, you know, I show clips on like my IG, and, you know, I'm not doing routines like Scratch Bastard, because I'm showing video clips of my parties. And I had one guy talk mad trash just like a week or two ago. Mad trash. You're a bad DJ. You know, he said something that I still can't get over. What's up? What's going on, Queso? He said, you're not a good DJ. The only reason why you get your bookings is because of YouTube. Because you're good, you're a good salesman, but you're not really a good DJ. And you don't have, you know, you bring controllers, you don't bring a lot of stuff. That's these people are getting ripped off. That's what he says to me. And I said, well, you know, first off, you know, I didn't start YouTube before I started my company. My company's been around for going on 16 years. YouTube, going on 5.5. So doesn't really make that much sense. Most people that book us have no idea I have a YouTube channel. No idea. It's not like a Nick Spinelli thing. You know, they just book us because we do a great job. Now, here's the funny thing about gear. Cause I'm like, look, what I bring doesn't matter as long as the party's rocking. You know, there is this weird thing that a lot of DJs do, that they feel like if you're not bringing all the stuff, then people aren't getting their money's worth. But that's not why people book DJs. They don't book DJs because they have all the latest and greatest. They book DJs because they're great DJs. That's it. They've seen them at parties, and all of my clients have seen me before parties, because we do parties for 300, 400 people every single time. We don't promote at all. Everything we get is word of mouth. So if everything we get is word of mouth, I can't clearly be a bad DJ. You know, so, and I told him, like, I'm sorry to hear that you think stuff is important. You know, like, we do high-end events. Usually speaking, we don't even bring our stuff because they're spending, you know, $300,000 on this bar mitzvah. The party planner is going to bring in everything but sound. They're bringing in lights. Sometimes they're bringing sound, everything. They're bringing a booth for us. Like, we don't do anything but literally bring in. And because of that, because of the fact that they bring in booths, we sometimes don't know the height, you know, or the space of a booth. So I bring my controller because, you know, I want to make sure I can use it. And if the booth is too high and I got a DJ on my controller like this, I can DJ on a controller like this. I can't DJ with turntables like this, you know? And I guess the whole point I'm trying to make is it's weird to me that people still feel like I need to prove something to them. Now, the guy saw me on YouTube, so he clearly knows on YouTube. He's probably watching this right now. He came with an anonymous IG to talk trash, by the way. He couldn't even say who he was, you know? And I'm like, look, man, we don't book 500 events a year, high-end bar mitzvahs, because we're bad. And nobody ever forces anybody to book us. That's the funny thing about it. They think my sales are what do. It's not my sales. Yeah, my sales are good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm the sales master. I'm not gonna lie. But that has nothing to do at why after they're sold, they tell all their friends about us after their party. Nothing to do with that. Because what I get from all of my clients, new clients, old clients, you know, I just feel so comfortable talking to you. That's what I get. And one of the reasons is because I don't sell clients. I don't sell clients. I talk to clients. Sales may happen to come up. That's the difference. I talk about what they want. I talk about them. I talk about their kids. Rarely do we talk about sales. So people feel comfortable with me because they don't feel like they're getting conned. We just booked an event from a competitor because I talked to her. He had talked to her like the day before. And as we talked, I'm like, yeah, we can do this. We can do that. No problem. Because we have all the stuff. If you need it, you need sparklers, we got it. If you need crowd, we got it. Trusses, we got it. We have all the stuff. We just don't typically bring all the stuff because they don't typically need it. But after the call, she was like, well, how much is it going to be? And I said, it's probably going to be around this much, whatever. She's like, okay, great. Well, send me a proposal because I need to be able to answer this one guy. And I'm just over him. I'm like, who is it? And she gave me his name. I'm like, yeah. I can only imagine how many parties this particular guy has lost because he treats everybody like a commodity. You know, these people want to feel valuable. So you have to treat them accordingly. Now, I'm very honest with my clients, just like I am here. So my clients know where I stand. They know how I feel. If I don't agree with something they're doing and I think it's going to be detrimental for the party, I tell them every time. Because I think clients need to have a right to know. And I think clients need to go in with realistic expectations. And if you go in there saying, oh, yeah, we can do it all. Yeah, no, your party's going to be great. It's going to be do this. First off, I've never once told a client that their party was going to be great. Ever. What I say is, we're going to do our best. That's it. You start telling them it's going to be great and all this stuff is going to be perfect and everything. Unrealistic expectations. Because you don't know until you get there. You don't know that you might walk in and, you know, they've completely changed the layout and they got you sitting in the back of a corner, you know, or the kitchen is severely late. So they're pushing everything off. You know, you have no idea. All right. I have 5 more minutes and then my throat's going to give out on me. So that's the key here. You know, like people that give me playlists, I tell clients straight out, I'm like, this is an outline. We're not going to play every song on this playlist. This is so I can understand your vibe. Now, if there's something you absolutely want to hear, absolutely, just tell me. If, oh, hey, my sorority loves this song, we have a thing to it, let me know that. But don't just put it on a list and expect me to play every song, and then I don't play the song you want. And then you're like, oh, you didn't play the song I wanted. Well, you didn't really tell me. And then tell me the songs you absolutely don't want to hear. We don't want to hear country. We don't want to hear any new hip hop, whatever. That way I can create the vibe for you. Now, one of my strengths, the biggest strength I have as a DJ, and you should all know what your strengths are, by the way. This isn't ego talking. You should know your strengths. That way you take parties that make sense for what your strengths are. Too many people go, oh yeah, I'll take this party because it's paying, and then it's nowhere near what they're capable of doing. So one of my biggest strengths is my knowledge of music. Like, I can go from 50s to 60s to 70s to 80s to 90s, 2000s, 2010s, all the way up to now, and will be just fine. My music retention is amazing. I know this. I know this about me. But there are a couple of genres that I'm like, no, I don't feel comfortable with that. But that's my strength. So if somebody's like, hey, I have a party, I came back on Thursday, after my session, after the flight, I literally got in my truck and then drove to my venue and did a corporate party. That was all 70s. The day after was like bar mitzvah. But then if somebody's like, oh, I need an 80s party, I can do all of those because I know the music. There's something to be said about the fact that it's weird that like older DJs don't get the respect that other DJs do. Like, some people will be like, oh, we want a younger DJ. We want a young hip DJ. But the funny thing about young hip DJs is most young hip DJs don't really know music. So it's weird. You would think you would hire, especially if they're like a DJ that actually DJs and is really about knowing the music, knowing the style, knowing how to play correctly. That's the guy you want. It's weird to me that they don't. Now, the reason why is because I've been to a ton of weddings where there have been older DJs that are just not that good. Great on the microphone. That's the one thing I will say about old DJs. Typically great on the microphone, bad at DJing. Okay. And Andrew, I literally let him talk. I let him say his point. But then when he started telling me that, like, everything was wrong, I'm like, okay, you got to be blocked now. You got to be blocked. I'm going to tell everybody about you. Who are you going to tell? The clients call me. We don't have an ad in the paper. We don't have a commercial. We don't have an ad on Facebook. We get phone calls all day long because it's not just about me. We have dancers, MCs, the stuff that people actually want. I don't buy crap that people aren't going to want to use. That's a waste of money. I buy the stuff that I know I can sell. I sell cryo. I sell sparks. I sell lasers. I sell photo booths. That's it. I mean, and then sound. But depending on what you're doing, and depending on where we are, I'm always going to bring a controller to a bar mitzvah. That's stupid. Why do I need to bring my turntables to show anybody that I can DJ? And I can do bachata too. Yes. Yeah, I do a Latin club usually twice a month. And it's all reggaeton, bachata, merengue, salsa. So yes, I can do that. But that took a minute to get it to a good level. Okay. I have a Pioneer DDJ SP1 controller I use with SL3 box until I got a S11. Can the controller be used alone straight to the laptop? You can use an SP1 with your S11, if that's what you're asking. But if you're asking, can you DJ with just the SP1? I don't think you can. I mean, potentially if you MIDI mapped everything, maybe. But you have no audio card, so you still need something like that. Give it time for stems, guys. Everybody, give it time. I think it's just a matter of time before we start to see MIDI mapping be able. Remember, Silent Q was not a mappable button for the longest time. Years. They finally came out. They finally released it. so just give it time. It'll happen. I mean, the fact that you can split out stems on the Rain 4 would suggest that that's something that will be available across the board at some point, as long as you map your buttons. But who knows? BW says, I don't enjoy the 70s and 80s music. You guys are translating it to a lack of knowledge in music. I don't enjoy everything I play, BW. Not translating into lack of music. It is more of an understanding that sometimes you got to play things. Now, every DJ is different. So if you're one of those DJs that's like, I only play what I love, more power to you. I play what's going to get me paid and what I'm good at. So yes, sometimes musically, I don't like necessarily what I'm playing, but if they're going to pay me a crap ton of money, I'm going to say yes. Okay. But I don't love new hip hop. I've learned to love it. Won't unlock Serato. I'll have to look into it. SP1 or the XP1. You know what? The SP1's the older one, right? That's the older one. If that's the older one, yeah, it definitely won't work. The XP1 and XP2 may work, but not the SP1. Yoshi, I mean, as much as I can. I released a video yesterday, so take a look at it. But yeah, I think I got enough of it. I won't be able to say anything until I can take it out on a couple of parties. That's usually when I know, because I've learned so much just from taking a piece of equipment out to a party and going, oh, hey, why doesn't it do this? Why doesn't it do this? Like little things like that. The little things like that. Yeah, I need to take it out. Okay. All right, guys, it is 12:30 and I have a 1:00 call, and I do have to take off. If I get my actual mix from the show, I will do that on Tuesday. If I get the actual mix. We weren't sure that all the mixes were going to come through or not. So we're still waiting on that. But besides that, so I didn't show you my see, here's Philip Tan right here. In case you were wondering, Philip Tan actually does look like his emoji. That's Philip right here. And there were more people, but they didn't actually stay for the picture. Some people left early. These are the diehards that stay till the end. Good times. And where's my Boston? It was a rainy day, but it was beautiful. Beautiful. MIT is a cool place. It's a very, very cool place. Maybe one day we'll go back. You ever used the Denon SC 3900s? I have not. Let's see here. Denon. Oh, okay. Those are the those are the ones with the with the moving platters. Yeah, never used them. you know, I don't know that I would buy, anything like that. Just because I don't like to buy things that are no longer being made. Anyway, and then after the show, after the class, we went and had some amazing Chinese food. And Philip, thank you for the hospitality. I appreciate you. Okay. So, I think I've answered all the questions. I think I have. I will be back on. I have videos coming out either today or tomorrow. Make sure you guys watch my Rain 4 video that I just released last night. And make sure you guys are all following me on IG, because you're going to need to be following me if you ever want to be in the running for the Newmark / Mackie system. Ariel, sorry. GD's in the building. What's going on, fam? I just typed in 3900. That's what came up. I assume there's a mobile version and a regular version. Mixtures B. Where are all these people coming in from now? Hiya, Terry. All these people. Late. So late. That's okay, though. I appreciate you coming out. Again, make sure you follow me on IG. I have videos coming out there, too. And I will see everybody very, very soon. And enjoy your day. Enjoy.